Well then, it is race night, Monday night, prime time, or I don't know if 10:30 is prime time, but you get the idea. Currently, it is the LA Coliseum for an expedition event to celebrate BPNR's third anniversary in NR2003. It's going to be more or less a sprint race just to have a little bit of a goofy time whilst before we get back into action tomorrow to continue with the season. It was not past Friday, but 2 Fridays ago. It was the BPNR Daytona 150. Congratulations to Kirsten Bell on that race win. A good start to her season. So 1 minute left in qualifying if I turn off my free cam. Give you a quick little look at qualifying. Wait. Currently Jack Merkel on pole with McGalley second, and qualifying is over. So those are your front row. Lane Johnson third, Colin Teague fourth, Thomas Johnson fifth, Lane Lyle P6, William Viola P7, Joe Schmidt P8, Tyler Aziz P9, and Harry Crawford will conclude the 10-car field for tonight. So tonight's race, like I mentioned, it is a sprint race. We'll need 50 laps, which is very quick for a quarter-mile track. Going to be halfway caution at the conclusion of lap 25. And yeah, there's no damage in this race. I'm supposed to moderate, and honestly, we're just here for a good time. No points on the line. And that's really much about it. It's just LA for you. Expect a lot of banking, so hopefully, well, really depends. If you want this race to be over with because of how late it is only... I forgot my train of thought, but it is time to race actually. So 50 laps for tonight. 50 laps for tonight, and no damage. Shouldn't expect any pit stops unless it's for tire degradation. Base car straight into the pits. Being towed. Okay, so last second change. We're going to actually do a standing start. So I presume someone will call. Yep, Lana is gonna count down in the Discord VC. It's lights out, and away we go. Jack Merkel with a beautiful start. McGarry's gonna be already a 2-car tangle. And that's already a big crash down the backstretch. I don't think it'll be a reset for any of that. But McGarry's, but the opening lap is going to get punted out of the way by Colin Teague. And there's nearly 3-way fully, and they're already in lap car in the form of Joe Schmuda. There will be no redo the confirmation, so... And someone's already dead. This is going to be a real doozy trying to keep up with Rags, but I'll try my best. And likewise, it's going to be a doozy trying to keep up with the leaders as Colin T gets spun out by McAllies. And I will drop him down the order. Now it is someone in the lead. Okay, so Jack Merkel's leading. McGarry's is a lap down, and there's a Lane Johnson. And Joe Schmidt is flipping big hits for all around. Merkel loses the lead. Harry Crawford gets flipped. Viola spins. some car is already taking the toe, that being Thomas Johnson. He'll have to wait until the halfway caution to get back on the lead lap. Yeah, after a little bit of a mess in the first 5 laps, it is Landon Lau, your leader. He recovered his 1 lap down, so it goes to William Viola sitting in P2. There's going to be an exchange for third between Jack Merkel and Colin Teague, side by side down backstretch in turn 3. Colin Teague still hanging tough, but not for long. He smacks the wall off 4, and he'll lose the podium places. And Doge is going to kill it. 2 people are stuck in the fence. Landon gets smacked from the lead, much reminiscent of season 6, I believe it was. Nearly the same 2 drivers, and Thomas Johnson in the same livery where he wrecks Landon Lyle from the race lead. I believe that was at Sonoma. I could be wrong though. I don't know too much about the BPNR lore, but with that murder on the lead admin, it is William Viola who acquires the lead 10 laps into the race. And McGarry's going to spin in front of second place of Jack Merkel, but Merkel seems to be unaffected. And Colin Teague for third place going to spin on McGarry's, but somehow keeps the car straight. This race is already a doozy, currently a quarter way through the BPNR 3-year anniversary race. It is William Viola, your race leader. Harry Crawford trying to fight for a lap back in P4. Yes, you heard that right. Only 3 cars on the lead lap. McGarry really slow. Is going to plunge Harry Crawford into Viola, and that's both of them into the stands. But there's no barrier at turn 4, so they're gonna have to take the lap around the outside. And that's gonna cost them a good amount of time, usually 5 seconds, assuming they get an optimal lap. Meanwhile, McGarry just parking a bus and kills Aziz, who gets punted by Landon Lyle. And there's just chaos everywhere. I'm trying my best here. It's intentionally gimmicky. Landon Lyle loses a lap to William Viola. And quite soon actually, we'll get to the halfway caution. Leader crosses is currently lap 18 of 50 scheduled green flag laps, or just laps in general. So I've been told that at the halfway caution to be an invert on the running order, so William Viola and Jack Merkel will start last and second to last respectively, so that gives a driver like Thomas Johnson, who had to tow, a real good shot to win as he proceeds to spin. And gets flipped by Tala. Osama bin seized, if you will. Someone got knocked into the pits. I believe that was Colin Teague. I'm just trying to overcome the chaos in the Discord VC for tonight, and also the Radman server, so yeah, I'm trying to piece together information and give you the best coverage possible on this tiny little quarter mile. So 3 laps until the halfway break. William Viola still leads. Jack Merkel waiting in the wings. There are the only 2 cars on the lead lap now. Joe Schmuller smacks the butt end of the wall out of 4. Colin T gets spun. West scored P3. So now it is the final lap of the halfway. And he's gonna get impeded by McGarry, so now there's a fight for the halfway win. Nothing really on the line, it's just a matter of who wants to finish or start last. In the second half, it is William Viola who wins the race back. And that'll be our halfway caution. Only about to hit 8 minutes, according to the NR in-game timer. So they're gonna put her around at 10 miles per hour and get everyone's laps back, and we'll invert the running order. Normally I'll go over turkey timeline, but there's too many regs that it'll take too long, so if my math is correct, I believe it'll be Thomas Johnson who will inherit the lead. So lap cars are told to wave around just to see where they are. It, and they wrecked, and Tyler's out of the track. They can't do the simplest of things. So while we're under caution, to celebrate the 3-year anniversary of BPNR, I might as well read a little excerpt that Landallow has provided when you first joined the Discord server. So, what is BPNR? BPNR is a NASCAR Racing 2003 League online racing league created by Colin Teague on February 11th, 2023. The first iterations of the racing in this league were. Anyway, the first iterations of racing in this league, the weeks prior to the first race, was online racing done in a career mode style with AI. Modern, as far as I know, that modern day nomenclature is Hector Online competition, which is still active. We very leaning on penalties, and don't think there's any penalties at all. It's like a hybrid of online and offline racing, so that's a little something to note. On March 3rd, 2023, they've had their first ever online race at the 2020 Daytona BBMC Night Track as the Clash. It was a fun fact, it was originally supposed to be at Coca-Cola Super Speedway, but the driver's skill level basically sucked. Today, BPNR has a lot of ups and downs, but we're currently in our 9th season. I don't think that's right. This is race season 8 of racing. Holiday seasons count. So, won't this be season 10 for them? Because they've had 2 holiday seasons. I don't know. But season 1, they used Max 19. Season 2, they used Based Cup. Season 3 was, or three straight seasons were in Xfinity 2020 cars. But season 3 we're using CTS physics, so a Super Speedway only season then. Season 4 they had Cup physics, but still opted for CTS physics for the Super Speedways. And season 5 was exclusively the Cup physics. Holiday Season 1 was using the OWR07 mod using the IR2012 EXE. Season 6 onwards has been using NCS21 with CTS physics being used for the super speedways. So that's a little look at the mods. Now we'll look at champions. Season 1 was Dandelion and Beck, Jolene Sims 1 Season 2, Dandelion Season 3, Jolene Sims Season 4, as well as the Super Speedway, Season 4 Super Speedway. Sebastian Kukulon won the Season 5 championship along with the Super Speedway season. Holiday Season 1 was won by Lada Beck. Season 6 was Kirsten Bell. Season 7, Alexander Gonzalez Green. And Holiday Season 2 was won by Harry Crawford. There's currently on laps 31 of 50 scheduled laps. There's trying to get the orders sorted, but they're not doing a good job at it. I've just been yapping about the lore, but they they're supposed to. Oh, bruh. This is what I wasted my time on. I don't mind it, but this is unhinged at its finest. So currently we're waiting on Doge, who is trying to get his laps back. He needs 2 more laps to, well, yeah, 2 more laps to get back on the lead lap, and then they can invert the running order. And whilst the 94 is getting his lap backs, they're just been killing each other under caution, as you may have been seeing. This race is just unserious. And we're just wasting laps. Right. Now that Doge is on the lead lap, pit lane will open this time, in case these goobers need new tires, which is pretty likely. This is your league admin, folks. The 51 car. Alright, pit lane open, and that's just... There's only 2 people that are pitting, that being McGowries and Merkel. Merkel's gonna start last anyway, so you might as well. Again, I was told that they're gonna invert the running order, but at this rate, I don't know if they will. So I think this is going to stay as is. So, after almost 10 caution laps, which is basic short track cautions for you, kind of just waiting for word on whether or not we're going green or soon. Alright, so we're finally going green. Quite shippy now, but William Viola has an entire lap to call the green flag. So from here until the next lap, he can call green whenever he wants. They're still gonna putter around at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And they're green at the exit of turn 2, lap 35 of 50, and Tyler's already dead. Didn't even get 3 seconds of calm. Alright, so update from race admin Landon Lyle. We're going to the end of 60 given how many caution laps we've wasted, which is fair enough. And I presume overtime will also stay the same, it's just that the running order after lap 60 is not going to be tracked. So battle for third between Merkel and Landau. 24 on the inside, and he is going to clear Landau, and he'll have his sights on the two leaders. Barry Crawford trying to track down William Viola. A lot of sliding. This track is very grippy and very easy to get the power down, so it is causing a lot of tire smoke, wearing those tires out. Got melee here for, I believe that's P5 between Colin T, Karen McGilvery, and Tyler Aziz. 51, 96, and 14 cars respectively. And Jack Merkel goes around. He was P3. And that would hinder his chances to win. He is at least half a lap behind the leader of William Viola. It's going to be Thomas Johnson, the first lapped car of this second half. And Colin Teague's around, but gets saved by Aziz and Merkel. Viola has pulled out a gap. It's a lot calmer compared to the first half. Probably being single file has something to do with it. This time around will be 15 laps to go. Not a lot of time left, especially at a quarter mile of the L.A Coliseum exhibition event for the set to celebrate BPNR's 3rd anniversary. And that'll be Lane Johnson facing backwards through turns 1 and 2, but she gets punted out of the way. Viola getting held up by a lapped car of Joe Shmuda. It allows her. Might be a wreck, but they already sorted. Viola gets by Shmuda. Now Eric Crawford has to negotiate with them. But Shmuda gonna try to fight for his lap. He's gonna put Viola nearly into the fence, but Eric Crawford to the inside, and Viola is going to it's a track blocker. It's a track blocker, but Eric Crawford has the seas parted for him to take the race lead. And Joe Shmuda finally gets punted out of revenge for William Viola, rightfully so. 10 laps to go, this time by Eric Crawford has just taken the lead away from William Viola. And there's just going to be slams everywhere as Colin Teague is sideways through turns 1 and 2, trying to get out of the way. Very narrow track. But Eric Crawford in the second half has been having a clean second half and looks to win. 8 laps to go now. And meanwhile, Viola is trapped behind the lapped car of Tyler Aziz, but not before Eric Crawford has lap traffic of his own in terms of Colin Teague and Joe Shmuda. Shmuda was a nice to William Viola, but now that he's no longer on the lead lap, Viola is going to get murdered from second place. And that would collect Aziz, landed low. Aziz is upside down. Somehow, Viola stayed in the racetrack. But I believe Merkel's P2 now? No. So who's second then? Oh, Cameron McGilvery is second. This is the one time he'll get to do well during the course of the BPNR season. And McGilvery has to punt Aziz, and that will mean Aziz gets to prohibit a McGilvery's podium finish. They're just... Caution has been called. So a late race caution will send us into overtime. Something Harry Crawford did not want to see. 2 laps left in the game. They'll have to go beyond the in-game distance. Okay, drink of water. 3 laps of overtime because giving them 3/4 of a mile to find it. 3/4 of a mile to find their way around Harry Crawford, one way or another. So, Harry Crawford will lead the field to green with Jack Merkel second, Cam McGowie third, Willie Viola fourth, and Lau fifth. And right now, the 6 on back are trying to get the laps back so everyone can get on the lead lap. I don't really see the point of getting the laps back when there's no reason. The game's not going to track the field past lap 60. So you might as well just do manual scoring at that point, but that's just my opinion. So the flag man will wave the checkered flag, but we are going to go into a 3-lap overtime. And green should come out this time round. Hopefully. Hopefully I get to do this, and hopefully Landalal will be up for it. But the checkered flag might end the race, but it'll start the conversation. Driver the 99 and the Gatman, he will know best about BPNR. I shall invite Landalal for a post-race conversation, mainly to talk about the history of BPNR and how it formed itself during the 3 years of racing. Eric Crawford, Merkel, and McGarry. Green flag, 3-lap overtime, the only overtime attempt they'll get. And B. Merkel already getting punted by Viola. That opens the door for Landau, who gets punted by McGarry's and by Caesar. That's the ideal circumstances for Harry Crawford. It would be a cakewalk for him. Assuming he clears the traffic. White flag this time. Final lap. And the L.A Coliseum. Your holiday season 2 champion. Going through 3 and 4 and gets stopped by McGarry. He's gonna break his ankles. And Harry Crawford wins at the L.A Coliseum. At this rate, I don't know what the running order is, given the game doesn't score at this point. So, who's on lead lap, who isn't, I have no idea. But after a chaotic overtime, Eric Crawford has emerged victorious. And going to do a podium celebration, so I believe it was, honestly, I have no idea. Like, I have no idea who finished second. So even the admins don't know the running order. Top 3 very minimum. We know Harry won, but second and third are yet to be decided. So a bit of an intermission before we kind of like quits, or I should say, at least the main part of the broadcast. So as we wait for the official podium finishers, reminder, if you do stick around for the post-race show, I will talk one-on-one with Landalao, or unless Colin Teague wants to as well, since those two have been contributing to uh, BPNR. Podium is selected to be at the start finish. I'm still waiting for official word. But as far as I know, I believe excuse me, I believe given that the cars that are still on track, I believe the podium has been confirmed. Colin Teague finished second and Joe Shmuda third place. And this is a top 3. So there are your podium finishers. Hey Crawford, he'll get turned around, but if he's able to fend off, well, I would say fend off, the rest of the field just kill themselves for trying to get second place. Hey Crawford wins, Colin Teague second, and Joe Schmidt third. Fourth line down, I have no idea. I just have no idea. Took roughly 25 minutes to get the race going from start to finish, so that was a quick race by the stretch of the imagination. I'm quickly getting contact with Vandalao, and hopefully we can get a one-on-one interview with him, or maybe um, I have to go through Discord. If I can't get in touch with him, I'll just call off, but and just wrap up. Right, so I'm gonna quickly set up for that. And the race is over, but we do want to talk with two admins that have been in BPNR the longest, given they've been here since the start. do you actually want an interview or
No, I was waiting for the BPNR history thing.
10 for? Maybe acquired a Joe Schmuller who's just waiting for Lyle and Teague. So I think they're coming. I don't know, but whilst we're waiting, take a look at what's coming up for NR2003 community. Thursday, CCRS has their first CTS race that will commence at Daytona International Speedway at 8:25. Then Friday it is busy. We got Budweiser Cup Series starting their season at Daytona 9 p.m. here on MCRP. Then Cheese Food will cover the next two races. Gnarl and Talladega their first super speedway of the season, with Essex coming up to start their season from Michigan. Those are 10 p.m. and 11:55 Eastern, respectively, both on Cheese Food Media.
Real.
Then Saturday,
Oh God.
IFAR heads to
Uh,
Atlanta for the old service.
yeah, I don't know what to discuss. I didn't think about that far.
Well,
Do you have a question actually? If you can start us off, because that'd actually be way better. If you have any
well,
ideas.
I as far as
Wait,
I
who's
know, we before it was NR, it was on Roblox.
it
Talk us
Oh
was
through it.
yes,
yes.
yeah. We had Well, I shouldn't say we. It was Teague. It's that's like
Oh,
that.
off off the very start it was me, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like it. If you look at the very top of the server, it literally just tells you how many races we've done and like when we started. Which actually I update that. But yeah. So that was. Actually, that's coming up soon. It was March 12th, 2021.
Almost 5 years ago exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
Almost.
which is kind of funny that we have this anniversary or that anniversary because we usually like to do stuff for that too.
Yeah.
Um, it's usually a Talladega anniversary, but those games have gotten closed down
We might have to
because
run it on Indy this year.
yeah, we got Indy 500 probably or something.
Yeah,
We'll have like BBR after that.
that'd be fire.
But we ran Roblox for until like I mean we still do occasionally, but like consistently. I want to say like midway last year.
It was kind of earlier, I think. Maybe like February
Oh no, it was April.
or
Yeah,
April it
April
ended?
8th. Yeah, April 8th was the
Yeah,
final.
okay.
But then we had Rostock for like 2 seasons, and then like a bunch of
Yeah.
other miniseries stuff. That's the thing. If you're an OG, you know that we ran like a race like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday,
Yes.
and kept going. Why do we do that? I don't know. We literally
Hey.
did everything. We had
Oh,
a
yeah.
D1, a D2, and a D3, and then
Oh, yeah.
tons of
Over
stuff.
the whole history, we raced anything and everything, bro. We did the main series, 14 seasons of that, but like so many smaller seasons that we did some of the games only one season. We did everything like I don't know,
Yeah,
Rostock, go-karts, motorbikes, endurance, everything. We did a little bit.
even IndyCar, right? We did IndyCar.
Even IndyCar, yeah.
And Formula E, which was actually
Oh
probably
my
the best
God,
one.
that might have been the most random one, yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, like there's I don't know, there's not a whole lot of people in this server that ran that. Like there's me,
That's true,
Teague,
yeah.
Matt, there's Landon, there's Kirsten, there's Hector. Obviously, he's like the best driver in there from all time. Um, there's Doge or Thomas, whichever you
Yeah.
know him as. Uh,
Who else?
I don't
Spurley?
know.
Did you
Yeah.
say?
Oh,
I don't know.
oh yeah, yeah. Spurley. That's a huge one,
Yeah,
bro.
it's
Spurley.
most of the people who were in BPNR from the very start, they just came from the Roblox stuff.
Hmm.
And how hard was the transition from Roblox to NR?
Oh shit. Not that well. It wasn't really a
Oh,
transition, unlike most people. Like it was more so of a new thing because it was fun.
a new
Um,
series we added, yeah.
season the season 5 champion Sebi, as I'll just label it as, he kind of started doing like his own sim in another server in like mid 22. So we kind of latched onto that. People started making like their own little career modes in the server just for fun. It was like 3 people with like AI just for fun. And that kind of latched onto something in this server where we had like an online career mode sim or something for a very brief time.
Hmm.
And it was really stupid, but that's
Oh
actually
yeah,
what
it
started
was
HOC.
terrible. But
That's what started HOC, but that's unrelated because it doesn't have anything to do with the server. But um, that's kind of how we started the league. Like it was like 2 weeks later, I think they decided to start doing it, and then on like uh, March 3rd, which is tomorrow, we did the clash, and Savvy won that clash. So
the the series opener, bro.
yeah, it wasn't really a transition. I'd say the transition was when I got everybody, not everybody, but when I somehow managed to get like 60 people to join for season 6,
Oh yeah,
and
that's
then
for sure.
because that was way after, or actually no, that was in like the dying 3 months when D1 of BP Roblox was dying. So,
Hmm.
or not, I should say dying, but ending because we didn't keep it killed. We just kind of ended it.
Yeah, there wasn't like necessarily a hard transition. It was we kind of just dove headfirst into online and just figured we'll learn as we go. Like it
Yeah,
even season 1, like it was kind of messy with like all our officiating and like getting everything, learning everything about online.
there were some really dumb things like every league kind of has like there's a couple leagues obviously that have their sevens because it just was like a little friend group, and then they kind of just branched off of that, and then everyone kind of has like ties to each one. But like for our group, I wasn't even a mod yet. I was just a driver. I was in a mod for like 5 seasons, but um, it was just like I don't even know how to explain it because it was like 3 years ago at this point. But like we raced at Thunder Bay in season 1. If you don't know what that is, just go on the go on the track index right now and just boot up Thunder Bay and get the replay in the archive because you go 250 miles per hour. That is the fastest average speed we've ever recorded in a race. And like, I mean, it was just like, what were we doing?
Yeah.
But it was
I
fun.
can say we also did the Auto Club short track in season 1.
Oh yeah, and that's actually drivable like that. We could actually do that again, but I just don't think it's a good idea. Um, we did a lot of unorthodox
Some other
tracks like
stuff.
Martinsville.
South Boston was a staple earlier in the league before like, we had like
Yeah.
full fields. Like when it was, 15 people still showing up. That was like
Hmm.
a really like actually raceable track for the smaller field.
Yeah, that South Boston is really fun. If I ever get another series rolling, when if I have time for that, then I'd put South Boston on there, honestly. For a smaller field cap. Like it'd have to fluctuate or something somehow, but it's such a fun track. Anyway, um, yeah, so we made a lot of, or they made a lot of funny mistakes, and we kind of just learned off of it in the first couple of seasons.
And I suppose BPNR is just one of those leagues where it was a friend group at first, but with better
Hmm.
drivers coming in, you had to up the standards. It was a forced hand, if you will.
No,
How
yeah,
was that really?
yeah. Like the issue is, I love the aspect of just you and your buddies just racing a few random tracks and just kind of having it out. That's the thing because we were discovering NR, and obviously later than most people, but we were discovering NR and we enjoyed it and we were just having fun, and so they made a league out of it. And it wasn't a whole lot of people. The most people we ever got was like unironically season 2 Bristol Dirt, which had like 19 people for some reason. It was actually a good race, believe it or not, but um like we didn't have big fields a whole lot. Like that was a rarity. We would range from I'd say like 8 to 15
It's
a
probably, yeah,
race.
8 to 15 most races. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um I'm just like, how did we get here? But what we had to do is what we had to do. I don't know how fully. Like, I think what I was doing was I was with Kirsten and we were getting like a bunch of ideas in place because we already ran races like or leagues like COCA, IFR, Score, that such. So we were just like, and then the numbers were kind of dying too. Like the ideas weren't out. We like the schedules were fine. It's just like helping with minuscule things, and over time I guess we kind of just got an admin ability to just help around more since I don't know, it's how it is. But and it wasn't like anything weird because we've been friends for years. But anyway, the last few races of season 5 were really boring, to be honest. I mean, actually, no, well, they wasn't that boring, but there wasn't getting a whole lot of people. We had like 6 people in the finale.
Oh yeah, I
And
remember
so
that.
it was a
Yeah,
good race, but it's just like that ain't gonna cut it. So what we did, I I forced my hand to do something fun, get a little pickup during the holidays. Ran the first ever holiday season, which was technically the second, but I didn't call it that. We ran it with Indy cars, so we did 6 races. We did Road America, Michigan Auto Club, Indianapolis, Texas, a Nürburgring All Star, a Las Vegas
yeah.
Clash. I think that's it.
And
Um,
Edmonton.
no, we scrapped that because that was like really
Oh,
bumpy. I
oh.
remember.
Okay,
I
yeah,
don't know what I chose, but anyway. So we did that, and that was a couple good races, but it just I kind of used it as a test to see like how people would drive with it, and we actually got a decent amount of new people to drive it. So there was that, and it went well, and then we transitioned to um, season 6, where we were like doing testing and such, and some questionable schedule choices at first. Like we had like a what was it? I want to say we
Definitely.
actually had Bristol and the Roval, but we changed
Yes,
it.
Roval. I'm not. Oh, for season 6.
Yeah, we changed it out for Mid Ohio. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you did.
Um. Yeah. No, I think you're right. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so we did that, and at the same time, another league had just gone down the drain for infamous things that have occurred in the community. And according to everyone, they say that's how the league got bigger. I kind of disagree because if I look at the invite link, it was straight from none other than Jerry Cook, like that had like 70 people from it. I'm pretty sure it's from the website that was there at the time before that the whole thing happened. I don't know, but you know, a lot of people joined, and so we ran with the most popular mod. We ran a day that no one else runs technically. I mean, there's people that run Maverick, but not this side of the community. Um, so we did that, and just kind of rolled with the punches. I mean, it was tough. You had to get used to like you know making a whole thing for penalty points, and we don't use that now, but um, that's what we did for penalties. We had a thing for um, like car file regulations and all that, like stuff we'd never done before. But I had to do what he had to do, and we've kind of just built off of it since that point.
If you had to pick, whether it be your favorite driver that isn't you two or Shmuta, obviously, who's in attendance, a track that's just overall races that held there, your favorite race of the league history or just a whole season altogether, which options do you think
Like
describes BPNR the best?
like favorite racing from a track overall that would describe the league as a
The
as a game.
Well,
best
it could
racing
be
on
like
the
a single driver, a team, a singular race,
Okay.
whatever it may be.
anything.
That's a good question. For me, um, obviously, I'll just start with this. I get help from a lot of people. I'm not just a one man show. I couldn't do it. I couldn't run this league without all the help I get from everybody. So, with that being said, I take a lot of ideas from races that I've ran, good tracks, and namely IFR tracks. Um, and this was, and we had, Homestead, which is a bit controversial sometimes, but I love that one. There's also Chicago, which I think is a lot better racing wise. Um, but I think the old CSCA Charlotte is probably my favorite. I mean, it's 100 laps, it's 150 miles of you know, it's 25% of the real life race. There's a top lane that works, a bottom lane that works. The top lane ain't the best for saving, obviously, but like is good for just like all out racing. We've had a lot of negative spots, in races like that too. But like the overall package and just everything that can go into like strategy wise, I've seen nothing but like S tier racing from that. So that's like my personal favorite. I love Charlotte, and that's always going to stay on the schedule to be our patriotic race as long as this league lasts. Um, for a team though, I've always liked Doge's team, Pujo Sport, Total
That's
Energies.
low key true.
Like they won, like in season 6 when we first got this thing going. Doge won the first race, and it was at Daytona, and it was his first win and everything. Never
Hmm.
happened before. Like Doge, I'm not even kidding. We've ran. It says at the very top of the page we've ran like 3,000 or not 3,000. Oh my gosh, we ran like 1,445 races or whatever. Like in all of
Yeah,
Bass Pro,
in all the best pro, yeah.
all series and including this. Um, he only won like a total of 13 races of that, and like most of those were just row stock. Which, if you know row stock, that's like it's kind of easy to win if you just are dumb. I guess I don't know.
It's yeah, like most the races in that are super speedways in a way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like he really only had like 2 serious wins to his name in the last like 5 years. So him winning that was just insane to me. And it was his team, and it was his sponsor and everything. And then they had, um, I think they had Kyle on that team. Yeah,
I believe
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
and
I think
yeah,
so.
Kyle he got 3 wins. He won at Kansas on debut. He won. I know he won Falkenberg, and then he won something else, but I forgot. Um, so like that's like what 4 wins, and Kirsten won Michigan, so that's like 5, and she won the title. So I'm not even I'm actually going to be fully biased here because I just they're they're friends of mine. They're likable people, and it's just a goober ass team. So the fact that even remotely had like good I don't know, whatever, just it was funny to me. Like they won
Yeah.
the first race, the biggest race, and they won the title. And then Kirsten did it again, but she won the Daytona race this time, which she's never done before. So yeah, that's probably my
Yeah, I
favorite team.
think I agree with you. I think having, you know, I guess it helps in a way, like it's easier to pick that team because some of those like core team members have been in Bass Pro since like super early, like 2021.
Yeah,
And I think, not discrediting Doge, but like, he doesn't win much, like just being honest.
yeah,
And the second like we have this huge influx of drivers, his team out of all of them, he wins at the first like really big race we have, and then his team gets the title that same season is crazy.
Yeah. I got nothing else to really say regarding that question. I mean, I just think it's funny. Like, I know Kyle's a great driver, but the successes that they've had just winning at all, and it was like two big, like they have two Daytona wins. No other team has done that. I'm pretty sure. So that's pretty cool to me, and a championship and a team championship too, actually. So
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy.
So as races continue to be hosted by YouTube, if you had to give it someone who's looking to go into the league a brief description of what BPNR is like, what would you say to them?
All right, good question. I would say if you are here to race and you're new to the game and you've never done it in your life, first of all, good luck, because there's skills of all ranges. There's new drivers completely that have never touched it before. Sometimes, there's young guys, there's old guys, experienced veterans of the game that are really good at the game. Um, Obviously, there's a lot of settings and other stuff that goes into just how to be efficient at the game, which I know everyone's been there. It's definitely tough, and it can stray away a lot of people. When they can give it quickly, which I completely understand. This is definitely one of the harder games I had to get used to. But like BPNR, um, it I'll treat everybody fairly, or at least I try to. I'm not a perfect human being. Nobody is, but you know, I'll penalize what I gotta do. But if you're just gonna be a really bad driver, then we gotta penalize you fairly. That's how every league works. Um, I've always tried to promote it as a good beginner league. I know it ain't. Like, full disclosure,
It
it's
used to
just
be for sure.
it used to be for sure. It's hard to when you have like 36 car fields now competing at tracks of all types. Um, the main reason why I'd promote you to stay here and just be here is one. Well, obviously, if I recommend you don't take it, to heart every race. Like, you can get mad, but just leave it on the track. That's what I like. I don't want anyone to argue about stupid things post race for excessive periods of time, and that's happened to a lot of people. Um, I I know it gets heated sometimes, but you just gotta do that. Like I really I really pride myself in keeping it a good community. Like, there's a lot of channels in the server. There's like probably like 50, like, to be completely blunt. But I try to keep things, um, I guess, colorful, easy, kind of ish. I keep it detailed. Like, if you need a question, if you need help about anything, I answer it in DMs. It could be about literally anything. Like, I I run this league because it's fun. I think it's really fun to do it. Um, you know, I got the free time, so I'll be running a league while I'm doing that, I guess. But like, like if you needed a reason to join, I don't got much of a reason other than if you want to have fun. But if you take it to heart, then that's your problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do much about that because there's people of all types that are, you know, that enjoy it, and they enjoy it sometimes, but they just can't, listen or try to get better, get advice. It can go in 1,000 different directions. So it's it's a good question, but it's difficult to really answer it because every league has had their good drivers and bad drivers, and every league has had their controversies, and every league has had just, I mean, really just similar interactions. So at the bare minimum, I try to keep it a good community so people, you know, feel like racing. Like, what I try to do is I try to invite you to feel confident, positive, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have fun when I'm about to race. Like what we just did. was a stupid 50 lapper at L.A Coliseum with no damage. Like, what other league does that with non-points races? Like, I try to keep it fun. So if I'm trying to promote anything, I guess it'd be trying to have some good fun.
Yeah, I'll say that to go off of what you were saying, that like it's welcoming in the sense like of the community. I think uh like any skill levels for sure welcomed. You know, if you're new to the game still learning, like even me, I'm not that fast compared to most of these guys. But like we can't guarantee you're gonna be running at the front, right?
Right.
Like but I think yeah, it's just like a welcoming community, like just accepting any skill levels. And yeah,
Well,
cause like the as more people have came in, the bar's been raised more and more for like how fast you need to be winning, right?
yeah. Like, the last thing I'll say, like, I welcome anyone, but truth to be completely like blunt, you know, I ain't gonna just let anyone here. And when I say anyone, I mean like if you're just like, I guess weird or something. Like, I mean, we've had plenty of weird people in this community, and there's plenty of annoying people in this community that have set foot. So like, and also like people with attitude problems. Like, I'll give them a warning once or twice, and if they keep it up, then they'll get out of here. It hasn't happened yet, thank God. But like, I'm open to everyone, but I really wouldn't want to let's see, like, ruin the fun. But I mean, if I gotta force my hand, I'll do it.
Well, I'm gonna turn over to you two specifically. And it's called Colin Teague's league, but everyone keeps assuming that you, Lyle, are the one owning the league since you run
Mm.
almost everything in here. When was the shift in power start to occur? And do you honestly agree that it's more of Lyle's league compared to Teague's league?
I guess I can start with this then. Since yeah, I originally started it, right? Since the start though, there's always been a team of admins, even through Roblox and the start of NR. Like, of course, like when I was the main one running it before college, I always had help with admins. It was never just me, of course. Um, but the switch, or I guess it was kind of a transition period. It started to switch over to like Lyle, managing and like keeping the league running. When I was starting college, the start of last school year. So like I think that was in like season 5. We were kind of like, switching that out to Lyle starting to run the league more.
And you
And
have like
yeah,
all this all this weight on your shoulders, Lyle, and you're trying your best to keep BPNR afloat. And I do really appreciate the work that you do to keep everyone civil, trying to make this league as fun as it can. So thank you, Lyle, and also Teague for getting the league formed and keeping the league going.
I appreciate that. Well, I guess I can add on to that. Like, I mean, I most people know me pretty well, I'd say. I mean, the jokes about me being like fat and stuff, like I'm not actually like fat, but I do love me some food, I'll tell you that. But man, like I'm 18, you know. Um I don't got a job yet. I will be soon, probably this summer, which is I'm not sure what's gonna happen at that point. But for now, um like I just do it 'cause it's fun. I would not give a crap about doing, Tuesday night racing, plan all of it out. And, I know I procrastinate sometimes, but it's all I gotta do. Like, I wouldn't be doing all this if I didn't care. I I don't try to be too strict about things, but I just do it to keep things, civil and order and all that, and to try to keep it fun. Um, but like, yeah, I do this because it's fun. I wouldn't do this if there was, lacking attendance still. If I had done this in if we had done this in season 6, and not as many people showed up, it would have probably been dead already. Which I could accept that. If it did die, um, after this season somehow magically, whether it's because lack of interest, or if it is quite literally no one can run it because we're all busy, then so be it. I'd hate for it to be that way. I'm sure we can figure something out, but yeah, like if it is what it is, what happens. But I just do it because it's fun and I enjoy running a league. It's more. I will say this: it's way more fun to run a league than to actually race it. Honestly, if I could right now, well, I should, but I don't want to because it's too much fun to run your own league, and race, have something to race in. But I would totally just race, or watch over and just manage everything. It's definitely easier to administrate a race while watching it for sure. Um, which is why I have like special rules in place for lappers under caution. For like stuff like Bristol, like you gotta make sure you're on it. On like I'm talking to Teague all the time, under caution. We're getting that sorted out. So you gotta
Oh
have
yeah.
like a system, But uh, yeah, I mean, obviously this is not a perfect league. Most people will tell you there's probably been better leagues. I don't really care what's good. I don't care if people like it or don't like it. What I do know is that people show up for it. They hate it so much they'll show up to the next week. So, um, you know, obviously I'm not gonna make fully stupid decisions, but like today I was like I'm gonna put in wall cooling rules again, and like yeah, it's kind of controversial to some people. Probably I don't really care. That's I'm trying to make the racing product equal and fun and good to everybody, like stuff like that. So, but yeah, I really do appreciate everyone that can help me. Like, you help me with track edits a lot. Solos also does that. I appreciate all the admins, which is Kirsten Teague, the owner, obviously. Landon. Actually, no, what Landon used to be that, but Scarrett, Matt, Solos, Caleb, and what else we got? Aiden, Sebi, Hector. You know, it's I know I do a lot of the work. Everybody knows that, but I really wouldn't want to do this if no one wanted to help me. So you kind of have to keep a good image, I guess, in a sense. I know it sounds really stupid, but it's true. If you're just like nice to people, then people will be nice back to you. Like I don't know if people learn that by now, but that's like a really big deal in terms of making friends. It definitely works out, but yeah, like Riley, Zach with the logos, and uh, what else? You, Dan, Troxel, people to broadcast, and people that commentate solos, especially. Again, I mean, solos is a lot of things. So, and Josh with the statistics. Um, but yeah, if I didn't have these people, I wouldn't want to do it. Simple as that.
Yeah, and I gotta say, like, um, when like I was kind of, having less time to do it, just getting busy, um, I didn't like hand it off to Lyle and say like, yeah, you're doing this now. He like Loki just stepped up and started taking on more of the tasks like that I was too busy to do. Um, and like
Yeah,
the league
yeah.
itself, no way in hell it would be alive if it wasn't for Lyle still. Like I do not have the time to like, kind of be the leader like Lyle is now and has been for like the last year and a half. So it's really been him keeping it going more recently.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you've been doing college stuff, and I'm not in college. I don't really fully plan on doing that. At least right now, I don't. So that's just how it is. That's how the cookie crumbles. And I just, you know, I have a lot of free time all the time, and I just kind of helped out, and it slowly just became a thing where I'm an admin, and I kind of just do a little bit of everything. So, like, I won't discredit anybody because they do stuff too, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff I do. Like, I don't mind gonna lift it, but I didn't do the video this season. Uh, for the trailer and stuff. I wanted to announce something, but I was like, I held back on it, and then I had a vacation. Then we had the duels and all that Daytona Week stuff, so kind of just didn't do that. But yeah, I do a lot, and again, restating where I said I wouldn't do it if I didn't have help. But it's super fun.
I don't believe I have any more questions from the top of my head. Anything else BPNR related you two want to mention?
Uh, huh. That's a good question.
See, get hype for Indy tomorrow. That's what I'm saying, bro. Come
Yeah,
on.
we no, we got Andy tomorrow with 40 laps. People were like, it should have been 60 laps. And I'm like, yeah, maybe it should be 60 laps, but it's either fully green or it ain't fully green, and I don't want it to take too long because truth be told, we have enough delays. So, um, I also try to really try my best to make sure everything in the race is on time and prepared. And if it ain't, it kind of just rolls out bad. So, I try. But yeah, tomorrow it's going to be on the dot, 3 years anniversary. We did the anniversary race tonight because it's obviously a Monday. Not we're not doing it on Tuesday. Um, but we'll see who gets to win again on March 3rd, and it's gonna be Cup Physics. It's gonna be 2 times worth of moderate damage. It's gonna be the usual game cautions. I have saw those. I think he actually already did. He make the adjustments yet? I think he did. Yeah, I think he added the cone. So I'll be throwing that to the draft for everyone to use. And it's, I mean, it's just classic Pappy Indy. It's gonna be similar probably to how Gnarl went. Hopefully not with how all the wrecks were. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be good tomorrow. Nothing but. Um, and I'm not trying to elongate this, too much here, but I appreciate you a lot for helping with the streams. I know you got some free time too on your hands, so I do appreciate it. It's fun. I know it's fun. Um, and I don't know if you do you plan on getting anyone in the booth tomorrow at all?
I just open up the door. If someone comes in, cool. If not, it's fine.
All right, that's valid. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. I thank you for the questions. I like answering all that stuff. There's plenty more things I could rattle off about too, but it's 11:30, so
Yeah, and I'm also getting a bit tired myself, but you two
fair enough.
should be good to go to take up the helm tomorrow at Indianapolis. That will be here on MCRP, 8:30 p.m. qualifying time. And honestly, just keep at it. You two are doing very well with this league, and hope it continues to grow.
Appreciate it, Victor. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So that was Colin Teague, the league owner, and Landon Lau, the head admin, with the interview that's been on for that's been going for at least 30 minutes now. It's about time we wrap this up. I thank both of you two for joining me. And as for you viewers, well, there's no one watching, but still, if someone were to come back to this,
Archive.
yeah, archive,
It's about.
I shall see you tomorrow for the battle on the